I am live. It looks like we have everything working. Is it working? Do I have people? Hang on, let me check one thing. So sometimes we have a little bit of confusion on the show because we are a live show, and sometimes it takes a second for things to get going, but it looks like, okay, we are there. I do see streaming, and I do see everything on both ends. Technical difficulties happen sometimes. So this is a really interesting episode because today I'm sort of kind of the co-host. My son, Lucas, over here. Say hi, Luke. You're on camera again. He is going to be our master of this build today, and he's going to be showing us how to make something really cool that he has invented. And tomorrow, we're going to get on, and we're going to come up with another tool to increase what he's already invented and make it more fun. So that's kind of cool. I'm really excited to have everybody with me today. Luke, what do you got to say for the show today?
So today I have created something that I think is very awesome. This is my minifigure parachute. So I tried... so what we do with this is we put the string through the pen body, kind of like what we did for our rubber band powered rocket thing, and we put a rubber band around a minifigure and put it around the bottom part of the pen body, and this Pikachu turned out to be a bit too heavy, so it's gonna need a very light minifigure. Like a minifigure, if you want to
probably
use
like a Lego figure or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Luke's come up with something really cool. We're going to build that today in just a few minutes. But right now, I'm Jim. This guy over here is Luke.
Hi.
And you're watching Kitbashing. All right, folks, we are back. It is Kitbashing. The Rush family is with us. Hey, Ashley and family, we're glad you're here today. It's going to be a fun build because Luke is in charge today. I know it says that he is the build apprentice on the screen, but today the apprentice becomes the master. And while I am your host, I will basically be helping him build his build. And Luke's going to take the helm because he invented this. This is really cool. And we might talk about some of the science going on behind this while Luke is building. But Lucas, so very briefly, without getting too detailed in your explanation, what is the thing that you've created? 5 words or less.
I have created a minifigure parachute.
That was way more than 5 words. But a little parachute for minifigures. Okay, that's really, really cool. And so Luke grabbed, over the break, he wound and grabbed a Lego minifigure, and he's attaching that to his final version right now. But the final version, while cool, is not the finished product. Let me see this thing here, Lucas, what you created. Okay, so you see right here, he's got a little minifigure, and he's got a parachute. And this parachute is kind of special because it is actually more than a parachute. It's also kind of a glider. But anyway, Luke is going to show you how to build this. Lucas, first of all, we need to go over everything we need here. So, Luke, why don't you tell everybody what you need, starting at the top, and we'll work our way down.
So we are going to need tape. It doesn't have to be Scotch tape. It could also be the gaff tape that came with the kit. And we are going to need string. It doesn't have to be a specific amount, but mine was about 6.5 feet. We are going to need a pen and a dowel to get the pen just to the pen body, but you might already have it like that from Monday's build. And we're going to need 2 index cards.
Sweet. So this seems like a pretty simple build today, but it seems like one that will be a lot of fun because you've got, you've been playing with it, I know, all morning long. What, what inspired you to create this?
Well, I was thinking, what if I made a rubber band powered rocket that didn't go just side to side, but it went straight up and slowly floated back down? I couldn't get the rubber band powered thing, but I decided I would still use the rubber band. I forgot to tell you that we would be using the rubber band today and a little Lego figure to put on the thing.
We'll call those bonus parts.
Yeah. Because you don't need it for the build. It'll still work without that. So, yeah.
Cool. So, what's the first step with the build today, Lucas?
Well, my first step, you have to get an index card, put it down on a flat surface, and fold over the edge.
How much of that edge are they folding over? Like, if you had to guess...
It looks like it's about 2 inches.
Maybe more like 1.25 inches, but
Yeah.
But how much of it, if you had to divide that into quarters or thirds or eighths, how much of that is folded over, would you say?
I would say like 1 1/4.
Of
Oh,
thirds?
I mean, no, I thought you were talking about... Oh, yeah. So it looks like... I thought you were talking about how many inches.
Here, lay it on this mat. We'll look
That
at
looks
it. We'll
like
do it like this.
About
If
a...
you lay it on the mat, we know this is a 5-inch index card, right? And so if we look over here and we hold it in place, my mat is really cool because it is divided up in inches. 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. Are these 5 inches or are they 4?
Yeah, these are 5.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3.5 inches. So a little bit, like about a quarter of it, right? Would you say that's about a quarter of the mat?
About a fourth. Fold up about a fourth of your index card, and then what you've got to do is you need that second index card to be close to the same thing. You've got to line them up, and then fold the other one over so that the edge on this one lines up with the edge on your other index card. And it doesn't have to be exact, but do it as close as possible. Then once you do that, you'll have these 2 pieces.
So you'll have 2 of them that are about the same.
And we will end up taping these to the pen.
This camera isn't focusing very well, folks. I apologize. We'll go to your other camera so you can...
So we will end up putting the pen in the middle of this, and these 2 will be taped together. And then we'll tape the pen on too. But what I've got to do is get this so that it's just the pen body. This is not as easy as I thought it was. At the beginning of this week, I was just thinking, oh, this can't be too hard. But now I'm thinking the complete opposite of that. I figured out a trick to this. All you've got to do is, and then it's out. Now you're down to just the pen body. So with this pen body, you want it, you're gonna want to have a few pieces of tape ready, about 1.5 inches long. So you're gonna want to have 2 of these. And what we have to do is hold these index cards together and and on one end of them, you do not need the pen in yet, but just on one end, put the tape on.
That way the two are taped. Do you just need to do the top, or should you tape the bottom too?
Well, you just need one to do it one end for now.
Oh, okay.
And then you can finish it the other way.
Right.
And now that you have the pen, now you put the pen in and you do the other side. And you'll have, and it will look something like this. Now, if you
try my desk cam, see if it works now. Is it? Oh, look, that it's focusing much better now.
Hold on.
All right.
I'm
So what you've got there is you have two folded. So the quarter fold is on the pen side, and you've got a piece of tape on either side, so that holds it. And what we're doing, and so what you're doing actually, Luke, this is really cool because you're actually creating something that is creating in what is physics in what's called drag or air resistance. So drag is the full term in physics because that could be any force, but air resistance is the force of something acting against your air. So like, for example, I have this single square of toilet paper, which may be all some people have at this point. And I have, let me take your Lego guy.
Oh, your Lego guy.
And so I have a Lego dude wrapped in a rubber band for safety. That's his safety strap. And I have this tissue paper. Now, if I go to my overhead camera here, what you're going to see is that actually overhead camera is probably a bad example. Let's see if the desk camera can catch this. So I have these two items, and I'm going to hold them way up high, and I'm going to show you what happens. Now, I don't know if you saw that. If you didn't, I'm going to do it again. He bounces a little bit, but the Lego guy landed way faster than our square. Now, gravity pulls everything to Earth at the same speed, regardless of whether it is a piece of toilet tissue or a little Lego dude. They don't fall at the same speed because they have different air resistance. This is a very compact, very dense object, so it falls through very fast. The air resistance is much less than this guy who's got this huge surface area, super light, so it just kind of floats down as it falls. And that's the difference. And when you create something that has more drag or more air resistance, it catches more air and it moves more slowly. And that's actually how parachutes work. And so today's project, this little mini parachute, is really an experiment in creating air resistance. So Luke, with that said, what's the next step? So now you've put the pen body on the two pieces. What do you have to do now to secure everything down?
So what we've got to do is get a couple more pieces of tape ready, and with this tape, you go. Are you doing the disc cam? Okay. With this tape, you go around the pen body, and try to tape that in, because we haven't taped that in yet. It was just holding the pieces of index card together.
Right.
So when we get a couple pieces like this is how we're going to hold in our pen body.
Sweet.
And
so that holds it.
Before, I didn't talk while I was doing this. I didn't tell you what I was doing because he was talking. But before you put this on, push this up and pull it back down a few times so that it can fold, and then you've got to have it just like almost flat but tilted down a bit.
Gotcha. So you're catching the wind. Because if it's pointing down a little bit, you're actually creating more air resistance than if it was pointing up. If it's pointing up, you're allowing the air to move over the wings faster, and it would not be a parachute as effectively.
So we would, let's say if we move this the other way, then it would be like this. But with this, we can like throw it into the air really fast, then it'll fall down slowly. The other way, it would do the opposite. So, our very last step, we need the string. Dun, dun, dun.
Actually, I think you have one step that's kind of in between those, because you probably want to attach your pilot to your parachute before you put string on, right?
Right. So
that little guy there.
This little Lego guy, look, he's stuck and he wants to escape.
Nice.
See that look on his face? Now, what you've got to do is tie a rubber band around him, and then you know how you can like twist a rubber band and put it the other way?
I know exactly how that works.
And you've got to do that 2 times, and then you grab, he has 2 faces. So grab the one side that you want to be on his back, and you only need to grab one piece of the band. And what you've got to do is put that around the bottom of the parachute. And now he is stuck.
That's pretty cool. So he's attached to it now. And you've got your string in front of you. What's that string for now, Lucas?
So this string is to, you will hold this string up high, and you will have this thing at the top of it. Then when you let go of this, it will fall straight down slowly. So what we want to do is feed this string through the pen body. Then once this thing starts coming out the other side, you'll want to pull on that, because that makes it much faster, until there's just a little bit left. And
all right. Now, Luke, I don't normally advocate for this because, standing on furniture is bad, but do you want to stand on your chair and show us how this works?
So all you've got to do is hold this string up high.
Okay.
And now watch the Lego guy as he falls.
Okay.
Oh, it must be too heavy.
No, that actually... So here's a way to test this, Lucas. Here's what I think we should do, is I think we should test our results, because Luke's hypothesis... Again, we've talked about scientific principle on this show numerous times. And I'm looking behind me because I'm trying to find something. So scientific principle involves making a hypothesis based on your actual observations and your beliefs, and then forming from that hypothesis, you will form an experiment, and that experiment, you observe the results of that experiment, and that's how you determine what actually happens. That's the art of science. So when we're hypothesizing, we are trying to figure out, oh man, I bet you from what I know about this, thing X or Y or Z should happen. And that's the hypothesis. And so now what I'm going to do actually is I have a very basic stopwatch on my phone. And so here's what we're going to do is, Lucas, I want you to stand back up on your chair.
You want me to?
Yep. And actually, will you move it over just a little bit so you're out of the way here?
Actually, hold on. I forgot a step. Could you face the camera towards me?
Oh, sure. Hang on 1 second here. Yeah, there it is. Desk cam.
So here is the step that I forgot. You're supposed to put this loop through here. And you just keep doing this a few times. I did mine about 4 times. The reason I'm only doing 3 is because I already had one on there.
Gotcha. So you're making a big knot so that it won't go through. Okay, that makes sense.
We want the parachute to stop somewhere.
Right. All right, so stand up on your chair again. And then why don't you actually move your chair out farther over in front of you. Let's do it the right way. Let's climb down. I really don't want to explain to Mom how you kind of sort of died on the show. All right, stand up there. That's perfect. All right. So here's what we're going to do, Luke, is we're going to test our experiment. And the way that we're going to test our experiment is I want you to take your guy all the way up to the top, and I'm going to use my timer. And
Wait, do you have a push pin that I could put in the ceiling?
I don't right close to us, but I want you to hold the parachute as high as you can. Let me show you something actually here. Can you pass it to me really quickly and I'll show you. Here's what I think you can do is to launch this, if you hold this,
Here, I'll grab a push pin.
No, Luke, wait. So see how I'm holding this with one thumb just basically pinching this and then two fingers holding the rope? I think you can do this and then you can do a one-handed launch, okay? So get back on the chair with this, hold it like that so you can do a one-handed launch.
Okay.
Now we're gonna test this. And as good as I can, I'm going to go to the desk camera here again so we can see you. And as good as I can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to time how long it takes for your parachuter to fall from here and to fall all the way to the ground. All right? So
now 3.
I'm going to, yeah, give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, drop.
All right, let's do it again. That was a little under a second. So I want to test this a couple times to make sure that...
We can confirm our answer.
Yep, we want to confirm that we're not... plus then I can hopefully get a more exact result.
Right, so let's say we got like 50 milliseconds one time, but then we got 40... then we got 40 another time. It's probably somewhere close to 45.
Right, hang on. Let me get my phone going again. All right, so we got this. We're going to reset. All right, I am ready. Give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, drop. Stop.
All right, about 1.4 seconds. Let's try that again because those were kind of weird results. One was less than a second. One was almost a second and a half. 1.45. So... Again, when you test something scientifically, you want to make sure that you're doing an experiment in similar conditions again and again to get multiple results, because if I took that first result, it would look like this guy is flying, and if I took that second result, he's going a lot slower. All right, Luke, let me do the countdown because I've also got the timer. 3, 2, 1, go.
Stop.
All right, that was almost exactly 1 second. So the one was a little under, the other one was about 1.4.
We could say 1.2.
Let's call it 1.1 seconds. That would be about the average of all three of those. Now here's what I want you to do next. I want you to take the Lego guy off and just hold him in your hand and take the rest of the contraption off, and you can put the
getting stuck with the string.
All right, so you can put the rest of the contraption down. You need the other
Oh,
guy.
right. I need the
this
guy.
And so we're going to see how fast he would fall without. So this is not how they did parachute testing, by the way, for the war. They didn't just like, hey, let's drop a guy out of the plane without a parachute and see how long it takes him to hit the ground. So we're not exactly doing the same thing,
3,
but similar. 2,
1,
1.
go. Stop.
Less than half a second. Try that again.
Okay. I'm not sure if the people watching this video even saw him fall.
No, that was very fast. All right.
3.
Wait. All right, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go. Stop.
Yeah, that was like 0.45 of a second. So let's do one more. Those results were very close, but let's do one more just to be sure.
3,
2, 1.
Go. Stop.
Yeah, 0.43. So
we could say 0.46 would be our answer.
something in that neighborhood. It's close. But so here's the point, though, is that now we have tested our hypothesis. The hypothesis was that his parachute slows down our little Lego paratrooper, right? So that's our hypothesis. We built the parachute. We tested our hypothesis by looking at the separate results from testing it with the parachute versus testing a Lego guy without the parachute. And what we found was that with the parachute, he slows his descent by about 1 second. Now, if you want to do some really fancy math, you could figure out the difference in the air resistance there and exactly what's going on. But that is it. You can't reach it, Luke. He's trying to put a thumbtack in the ceiling, but he's still short. So hop down, and we're going to wrap this thing up because tomorrow we have a really exciting addition to this. So tomorrow we're going to take Luke's invention and we're going to build a way without sticking thumbtacks in the ceiling where we can test it, and you could actually use this for several things. And as a result, on Monday we're actually going to use what we're building tomorrow for another thing. Luke, hop down. Anyway, so thank you, Luke. Now you got footprints all over my desk. You need to clean those off. So, hopefully you had fun building this contraption. Lucas, your camera over here.
Hi. I mean bye, or whatever I'm supposed to say right now.
Yeah, is over here. Luke has... Hop in your chair so people can see you.
Oh, right.
And you need to slide it back where it was.
Okay. Oh, no, my parachute. Well,
Your parachute! It's coming off!
At least I've got 2 parachutes.
So, Luke, lean forward towards me. There we go. There we go. Now we can see you.
Like this?
Because see, now I can put this on there that says Luke Clements Build Apprentice, so we see who you are. So that was Luke, and obviously I'm Jim. I am your host. This has been a fun little build today. Tell us what you think. You can post comments. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notified for stuff. For those of you who are viewing us on other places, do those equivalent things. Remember, we love emails, and if you aren't already, we have a competition going on this week for rockets, and so send your pictures and videos of a rocket. The best one will get a DoorDash gift card. Awesome. Check Monday, or is it Monday or Tuesday's video that we did the rocket? Yeah, I think it was Monday. Whatever.
Yep, it was Monday.
It was Monday. So check Monday's video for details on that. You have till Sunday to submit pictures and videos of your rocket design. So submit those right away. Kitbashing at madenewOmaha.com. If you want to find out more about the Kitbashing series, if you want to see previous episodes, if you just want to get the instructions to build your own kit, you can do all of those things at madenewOmaha.com/kitbashing. Last but not least, we've got a Facebook page. That's where we do all of our daily updates. You should be following it, facebook.com/madenewOmaha. As I said, I am Jim. I am your host. This guy over here is my son, Lucas. He is our build apprentice, and you have been watching Kitbashing. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I was so excited to have you with us. Tomorrow, we are going to build another cool contraption, and we are actually going to take Luke's invention, and we're going to work on the scientific method again, and we're going to test some of our results from today, because testing result is a way that you figure out how things go. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everybody. How things go. Yeah, whatever. Bye.